Hi, I'm Jesse Williams from Oars and Mine in Crosby, Minnesota, and Jesse's Guide Service. And I'm here today to talk about the Berkley Powerbait Max Scent Minnow. This in particular is the Flatnose Minnow, 4-inch. One of the things that this bait was really designed for is bass fishermen. In particular, it was designed to be a drop shot rigging bait. It is a great drop shot rigging bait. But one of the things that I've found with this lure is I'm kind of a walleye guy. I'm actually a multi-species guy. And one of the most productive ways to catch fish, multi-species fish, is with a jig. This 4-inch minnow works really well on an 1/8 ounce, 1/4 ounce, 3/8 ounce standard jig head. This in particular here is a fireball jig, a long shank fireball jig. I have it paired up with here. But this bait, like I said, was designed to be a bass lure. And what I've found is that it's an excellent walleye lure. It's an excellent search bait for when fish are just inside deep weed lines where they're really scattered, but they're aggressive and they're willing to bite. The biggest issue is getting a bait into them. You're not going to be able to pull a Lindy rig through those areas. You could bobber fish, but you're really exclusively fishing one area when realistically you want to cover as much water as possible. This bait allows you to do that. One thing I really like about these Max Scent minnows versus some of the other plastics that are out there is the very pliable design of the body to give you a great action. It's got a very slim profile, which works well snapping through the weeds as well, but it's loaded with scent and flavor. And it's also a little more durable than some of the other offerings that are out there. This is, like I said, a great bait for walleyes, northerns, bass. You can drop shot rig it, you can jig it. I've vertical jigged fish with this. It works well. There's a lot of presentations that work really well, but one particular setup that I like is a 6.5 to 7 foot spinning rod, like a medium light action, 8-pound monofilament tied directly to this. You will get bit off by some northerns, that's one thing, so bring extra jigs. And it's also a great bait for catching larger crappies later in the summer. When you get into July and August, they get away from that little 1-inch plastic type stuff and they're looking for bigger baits. And I catch a lot of crappies when I'm not trying to catch crappies on this presentation. So one of the other things that's really unique about the Max Scent minnows and the whole Max Scent lineup is the construction versus the other plastic baits that are out there. The material used is kind of a porous material. So the Max Scent scent and flavor that is in the packaging already is excellent. But if you use a bait over and over and over and you're catching, say, largemouth bass on it all day long, they're fairly durable, so the body doesn't necessarily come apart, but you get to a point where it doesn't have that scent and flavor profile that it once did. That's a chance for you to throw it in your Gulp Alive bucket or just spray some stuff on there, whatever your favorite scent is. And a lot of times you can continue to use that bait with even better success in some situations. Now, something interesting that happened to me last summer that kind of put the versatility of this bait out in plain view was that we were out walleye fishing on a lake that has very clear water and very deep weed lines. And what we were finding is that those fish were in the weeds, but what we were finding casting these is that we were spending too much time outside of the strike zone. They were so specifically right on the edge, the transition from the taller weeds to the lower weeds. And so what we did was troll them. Using a jig spinner attached to the top of the jig head and tying our line directly to that, we took what was just simply a casting bait and made it into a trolling bait. And long sweeping pulls at I'd say 0.8 miles an hour to 1.1 miles an hour. You'd pitch the bait out, get it directly behind the boat, and track exactly the edge of the weeds. And sweeping these baits along, caught all sorts of walleyes doing it. It was just really kind of a fun way to take a very well-used bait in my boat and find a whole new technique and a whole new presentation to do it. If you'd like to talk a little bit about how these Max Scent minnows could go to use in your boat, stop in Oars of Mine. Our friendly staff will help you check them out, show you all the different styles and colors that we have in stock. If you'd like to see these baits firsthand in action, give me a call, Jesse's Guide Service. There'll be a link in the description down below. If you've had some experience with these baits and would like to comment, leave it in the comments. We'd love to hear back from you. Please like, share, and subscribe. And thanks for watching.